Oh, okay, there we go. So, last night, I was watching stories about Ouija boards because shit like that fascinates my crazy ass. And there's a lot of cases where people legitimately do not know what the hell they're doing. That's why everybody's getting possessed and shit like that. A lot of people just mess with the board. They think, oh, it's not real, it's a game, there's no fucking thing as ghosts. Ghosts don't exist. Well, newsflash. Even if ghosts don't exist, there is another side. And there's been plenty of cases of actual possessions and hauntings and ghosts, shit like that. Even my own room's haunted as shit. Not gonna lie. There are plenty of times I've had my own ghostly experiences here. But there were so many cases where people were just messing with the board like it was just a toy. Granted, yeah, you can buy it at your freaking toy store for maybe $20 for ages 8 and up, which I think is completely stupid. Because a Ouija board's really not something you should mess with. And an example of that would be a story that my mom told me when I found out that for a while she had a Ouija board. And I was like, oh, well, why do you have that? She told me a story from long fucking ago. It was when she first started dating my dad, basically. Her younger brother, my uncle, and my dad were hanging out at my grandparents', and they weren't my grandparents at the time, but you get the point. They were hanging out there, and they were playing with a Ouija board. My dad and my uncle were wasted as shit, and they were fucking with it. They were taunting spirits and shit like that. And my mom, I guess the longest time was just telling them, they need to cut the crap, basically. And they wouldn't, and I guess at some point during it, my mom started to feel really weird. Weird, say randomly enraged to the point that she was actually contemplating murdering them, and I think she mentioned that she did actually try to strangle my father. I guess there was some sort of panic or whatever, and it stopped. I don't remember entirely what happened, but my mom thinks she got possessed for a little while. It was either that or she just faked it to get them to cut the crap, but I don't know. I didn't exist at the time. But there are other cases where, Ouija boards will cause shit going down. Everybody talks about fucking Zozo. I've never heard much about him until recently, but I guess he's been, known as the Ouija ghost for, the longest time now. And you don't want to ever get contact with him. There's specific rules you need to follow if you're going to play with a Ouija board, and you really shouldn't play with it in the first place, but, you have to be polite, basically, because you're pretty much opening a door for anything to come through. It doesn't matter what you're asking for. Anything's gonna come through that fucking door if it sees it open. You have to be polite. When you're done, you have to end the conversations. You have to say goodbye. You have to make sure that portal is closed. You have to make sure it is shut. Just done. And you never leave midway through. Don't fucking leave the game midway through. Don't do it. It's considered rude. And it leaves that door wide the fuck open for anything to come through, and anything could happen. Also, you should never burn a Ouija board. Never burn it. Don't try to break it. Anything like that. Don't do that. Because, well, it's just not safe. It's not a smart thing to do. No, I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I I have a friend who, like, is clairvoyant. And trust me, she and I have seen and done some shit, but we've never messed with a board. And we never plan to either. So, aside from everything that happens, possessions, hauntings, poltergeist activity, shit like that, all I have to say is this: that's why you don't fuck with a Ouija board. That's why you don't fuck with a Ouija board. It's not a fucking toy. That's why I think it's stupid that you can freaking sell it to an 8-year-old for Christmas. Here you go, honey. Haunt the house. Seriously. I wonder how many parents are thinking like that when they're like, oh, a Ouija board. Let's get that from my freaking 8-year-old. She and her friends can play with it for their slumber party. What's the worst that can happen? They could talk to the dead? That's so cool. No, it's not. Well, it is, but it isn't. No. 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 Don't don't do it. But the countdown I was watching on, like, the Ouija board incidents was on the top 15 channel of YouTube, and it was narrated by Chills. I'm not sponsored by either one of them, and I'm not sponsoring either of them. I'm just letting y'all know that's what I was watching. And just use some common sense. And if you're going to try to talk to the dead with the board, make sure you follow all the rules, or you're going to be fucked. That's all I have to say about the situation.